Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast.
Murphy, do you realize that, we just got back from our weekend getaway. Do you realize that on the way home, when we do go away for the weekends, on the way home on Sunday, we have a couple of traditions, and we did both of them.
Oh, no, I didn't.
One of them I love the most, and the other one, not so much.
Sunday traditions?
Yes. When we go away for the weekend, it's usually 2 nights, Friday night, Saturday night, and we come home Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
One of them is that we, usually when we're in a sweet little town that we're discovering or we've loved before and decide to stay again, we'll hit a farmer's market and then I hit some boutiques. You pick out where we eat, which is the same was true for this time.
Mm-hmm.
But on Sunday, there's some places that are closed that we would normally want to check out, but there's almost always some sort of cool vintage antique mall or something like that open. And if we can find it, we hit it on the way out of town. And we did that on Sunday. We had eaten, we had checked out of the hotel, and it's like, all right, let's go to this. I found it online. Let's go to this antique store. And that's a tradition for us. That's become that.
Yeah. This one was really loaded up with Christmas stuff.
Right. They know to have the Christmas stuff. The first aisle is all Christmas. And it was funny because I bought something. I saw these glasses, drinking glasses, that are the exact ones that we have, except that one of them got broken last year. So we only have like 4 now. I think we'd had 5. And one of them, our girls love them. They're just drinking glasses with Christmas, like a really pretty Christmas tree on it. And so I found a set of 5, and it was a really good price.
Wait,
and in perfect
why does
condition.
it come in sets of 5?
I don't know.
That's
I have
weird.
zero idea why. But I did buy them. When we got home, Taylor and Phoebe were both there, and I said, girls, unwrap that bag, because the girl had, individually wrapped them for us nicely. And Phoebe got very excited. She's like, oh, good. I love to drink chocolate milk out of these. It's a thing. So I just was happy to buy that.
Yeah. Maybe it's a set of 5 because they really want you to have a set of 4, but they're thin and they're delicate. So if they break,
know.
You still have a set. You know what I mean?
4 and a
Not
spare.
likely, but
Yeah.
I've only ever found them in 5s.
What's interesting to me about that becoming a tradition is while we're actually doing the shopping thing, a lot of these places have small little antique stores. What Jodi's talking about, though, is that when you
The mall.
they call them malls, but they're really like
Just a
old
bunch of
stores,
booths.
with tons of booths back, and
Yeah.
and you could spend hours in there because it's jam packed with stuff.
It's so fun. You do not ever know what you're going to find there, and every booth is different, and I had a really good time looking. You go in with no expectation, but it's just so fun.
Antique stores, to me, are like big show and tells.
It's
They're
true.
just so much fun. And when I bring the kids, there's
Yeah.
stuff that I have to explain to them.
Correct.
Rotary dial phone. I remember when Maddie saw that. It's like, is this a phone? Why, yes, Maddie.
Here's how it's
Yeah.
used. Murphy, we found something. You showed me something that your grandfather had, and I was like, okay. Remember?
Oh yeah, well a lantern flashlight. I don't know what they actually called them, but they take lantern batteries is what they're called, and so the battery itself winds up being the base of the flashlight.
The big
Sam,
square ones.
yeah, and then the front is the light, and the red is a flashing light.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was like, yeah.
He worked in a plant, so maybe that's what those were for. But yeah, as a kid, I remember seeing those.
We saw a picture that was hanging up in one of the booths that definitely was in my grandparents' house, and it's like, that was Home Interiors, for sure.
Huh.
It was like these owls, and I recognized it. I told him if I took a picture of that and sent it to my family, they'd all be like, oh.
You're going to have to explain what Home Interiors is again.
Oh, I'm sorry. Home Interiors was a business from I was a child. My mom had a Home Interiors party once, and all of her friends come over, and you look at the catalog, and someone presents it all, and
It's
these
like Pampered
candles.
Chef.
It's very much like Pampered Chef, but it was back in I was a child.
All right.
And then my mom would order some stuff, but then she would get the hostess gift. And one of those pictures hung in our bathroom for years. It was a picture of a little girl in a field. And it's like, I thought that was such a special picture. And then I learned, oh, everybody had that.
Once you see it on TV and
Whatever.
TV shows and stuff like that, you realize
I have never heard
Everybody's
of
got
Home
one.
Interiors.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, if your mom had a party, you probably were sent to your neighbors or
Well,
something,
that's
because
true.
you would not have cared.
my mom had a Tupperware party. That's all I remember her
Aw,
doing,
cute.
which was the same kind of thing.
We also saw this crazy good Elvis doll. Oh my gosh. I don't buy that sort of stuff. I'm not into dolls, but he was the best one we'd ever seen. I think you took a picture of it, did you not, Murph?
Yeah, I did. We can put it up on our Facebook page.
Oh, my God.
The sneer looked real, but I don't know. I didn't see what make he was or what.
We didn't touch him.
Yeah.
But he was bigger than a Ken doll. Not so big that he was obnoxious.
Was it an Elvis action figure or was it for posing?
It was for posing,
Not
I
for
think.
playing?
I think it was for posing. He had the sneer and the hair was fantastic.
Yeah, and I
The
think
hair was right.
And the hair looks like, even though he's in the
white jumpsuit.
He's in the white jumpsuit, but but he looks like the comeback Elvis in that one from the comeback
Correct.
special. They should have had him in the leather.
He was in the wrong outfit.
Right, yeah.
Well, maybe
For
they have a
real.
leather version.
That's true.
You just haven't seen it
Leather
yet.
version sold separately.
Yes.
Anyway, we had so much fun. That's one of my favorite things. I bought the Christmas drinking glasses and we hit the road.
That's about the only time that I take my time walking through a store like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to explain that. I really have to be in the right mindset to be able to just take my time and walk through and glance at stuff.
I love it.
Otherwise,
I always
don't
go
sit
through
still.
twice.
Yeah.
I always go through twice.
Yeah. You never know what you missed the first time, right?
Correct.
It's all the wonder of it on first pass. The second pass is the,
You're
okay,
like,
let's
"Yeah,
get real.
Do I really want to spend $2 on that?
Yeah.
Anyway, the other tradition, and you may not realize that this is a tradition, but it's a thing that you do, and I don't love it the most. But I remember telling you, I want you to do what you want to do today. You pick the food. You get to pick this. Murphy likes to take the long way home and drive through areas he's never been to before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And at first, that's fun for me for about 30 minutes. And then I'm like, oh, my God, I want to go home.
Another traffic light.
Yeah. Apparently, it's like me in an antique store.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can't do it for that
I
long.
could stay longer in the store, and you could stay longer driving let's go this scenic route. And so after a while, I'm thinking, I'm just ready to get home. That's probably because I'm an antsy type person, and I don't sit still
My
very
parents
well.
used to do that on trips. They'd always take off the interstate to the,
Yeah.
take their time. I mean, you would see a lot more. It was a lot more casual and pretty, but
Yes.
it did take a while.
Right. And Murphy likes to do that, and rightly so. But at some point, we had stopped in a second town, and after, the wonder of that, I remember thinking, okay, please. And I got lucky because there was a bridge that was out, and so he turned around.
Oh.
We got back on the main highway. So
Yeah. The scenic route is fine as long as there's stuff to see.
yeah,
The scenic route gets boring when you're between towns or whatever.
yes,
And look, there are so many small towns now, especially where the downtown areas have been revitalized for tourism or whatever. So it's nice to drive through. It's just fun. But yeah, again, I have to be in the right mindset because 9 times out of 10, I'm ready to go straight from point A to point B.
not yesterday. You weren't though.
No, I was enjoying the scenic route. I wish that bridge hadn't been out. Or we would have been on the road for another 2 hours.
Maybe you still wouldn't be home.
Right.
Missed any part of the show? Get it all on the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi podcast.